about a time you made a mistake. This question might be worse than what's your greatest weakness? Like, nobody wants to talk about the mistakes we've made in the past. But if it's asked to you, you have to answer. So let's talk about how to do that. So if we haven't met, my name is Cassandra and I help motivated professionals build their careers through practical tips to gain career confidence. And so let's talk the practical nature of, answering, tell me about a time you made a mistake. Okay, so I always like to start with why they're asking this question. I think sometimes we get into these interview situations and we're just like, this is a horrible question. And we just go with our gut instinct and we're not thinking about the why. And the why can change what answer we give. So number one, remember, they aren't asking, tell me about a time you made a mistake just to humiliate you or stump you. I think sometimes people act like interviewers just love to sit there and torture people all day. That's not it. They want to hire somebody. They don't want to keep doing this over and over and over again. They want you to be good for the job. So they're not asking to humiliate you. Why they're asking is because they want to see that you understand you are fallible. You are not perfect. You know there are places where you need to grow, and they want to see that you can grow, that you can change, and that you have some resilience. So keep that in mind. Now, another thing to really recognize with this is this question can really be dangerous territory for a lot of us because we all probably have some scars from some mistakes we made at jobs past that were maybe big mistakes. Maybe they didn't get you fired, but they were things that got you in trouble with HR or put you in a meeting with your boss that was uncomfortable. And there are wounds for you that kind of stick with you. There are things you don't feel good about, you wish hadn't happened. And when we hear, tell me about a time you made a mistake, our head goes to those things. But I want to be very clear. They asked, tell me about a time you made a mistake, not tell me about your biggest mistake. Okay? So keep that in mind. You do not have to share with them that really uncomfortable situation that you wish hadn't happened. We don't need to talk about that type of mistake. So if you need some help thinking about a mistake, here are some ideas. Something a supervisor asked you to change. Something small that needed to be fixed. Something you've realized in hindsight you would do differently the next time. So sometimes it's not even something that someone told you needed to be changed or had to be changed, but just something that you've now realized, I went about it this way, and next time I would do it this way. I personally think it was a mistake. And some common examples of mistakes that people use are often around a time you took on too much work, a time you didn't check your work, or a time where you made assumptions about how something would be done, and you probably should have clarified first. And here are the keys to answering. Number one, do not dwell on the mistake. Tell me the mistake you made and let's move on to how you solved it, how you fixed it, what you're doing different. And then focus on what you learned. Are there now preventative steps you take? Did you create a checklist for yourself so that will never happen again? Do you make sure you have somebody else review your work before you send it out? Have you put boundaries in place in some way? What are the steps you take so that the mistake doesn't happen again? But I'm just going to say it again. Remember, it is about growth. It is not about seeing how big a screw up you are. And of course, make sure you put this all in the STAR method format. Situation, task, action, result. So the situation you were in, the task that involved the mistake, the action is the mistake, and then the result is how you resolved it, changed it for the future. By using STAR, you are stating it in a way that helps give context to the mistake. It's not like it's something, because you're giving the situation and the task, it's not like it's something you do all the time. And then you're showing how you fix it for the future through that result. By focusing more on what you learned, you are demonstrating that you understand that you are not perfect. You are showing that you are a person who's willing to change and do better in the future and have resilience. Now, if you want more help in preparing for interviews and getting all of your answers ready, I have my impressive interview kit for you. You can find it in the description box below. It has checklists and a study guide that you can fill out and start creating all of your answers filters, it has Zoom backgrounds, it has secret tips that I've given nowhere else to help you impress and do your best in every single interview. So you can get that in the description box. Go check it out. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. It really helps. We're getting closer to 100,000 folks. I would really like to get there soon. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.